Good Saturday morning to you, Jackson, West Tennessee. Welcome in Sports Talk Live with the coach. That's me, Coach T. Stratton. I'm right here at Caddy Sports Club where I'm at every Saturday morning, and we've got another great show lined up for you. And we're excited about our guest this morning across the board. Just to kick things off here, we got Hayden Williams, the head coach of Humboldt High School, the Vikings. He'll be in this morning along with Tab Val in studio, head coach of the Peabody Golden Tide. And then also on the phone today, we'll have Blake Stegall, head coach of Halls High School. Halls enters the region with a very familiar foe here in Jackson, and we'll talk with them this morning, as well as just kind of look at what was going on over the course of the week. We've got golf champions already. We got winner chicken dinners, and so excited about that. And we'll talk about that. JCS this morning already posting that that their golf season has kicked off, and I believe they took the first tournament. And so let's get into the action this morning. Again, we got folks in house this morning, and we're going to be excited about talking with our guest. But hey, you know what? If you have not had an opportunity to get over here to Caddy Sports Club right here in Jackson, Tennessee, you are missing out. It is the premier indoor golfing facility in Jackson, number one. Number two, it probably has the best hot honey pizza in maybe all of the state, and so it's really, really good. And number three, you don't have to fight with the elements. Now, it's an indoor golfing facility, but it has much, much more than that. So if you are, if you want to come over here and host your office party, hang out, they have party facilities, they have pool tables, but their simulators also simulate other games, so you don't have to be a golfer. You could play baseball or football or dodgeball, or you could play cornhole. You could play all these other games that are on the simulator as well. But hey, if you're a golfer, this is the place to be. And so get over here to Caddy's Sports Club and book your reservations. They've got some really good deals. They got a summer league going on right now that starts up August 5th. I believe that's Tuesday, and goes through the month of August. They've got a couple other things that are going to be coming up that I think is really cool, including that one that might include myself. So you might want to try to make sure that you stay attuned to this. Now, last week we broke a major announcement. We're going to break that announcement again. Actually, there was two announcements last week, and so we'll reiterate both of those announcements today on Sports Talk Live. The first one is Jackson Sun sports writer Austin Chastain has exited the building stage right. He has moved, and we'll see what goes on with the Jackson Sun and the sports. But excited to support him in getting back close to his family and what he is doing with his life. And so he has moved, unfortunately, back to the state of Michigan. And I say unfortunately because, as you can see, it's football season. I'm supporting my Buckeyes right here this morning already. And it's one of those things where I say the state of Michigan because I have to say it's not the state of that team up north. It's the state of Michigan. And so but when we're talking about the team up north, the team that is not in our vocabulary. The school, the university of that M word that we don't talk about as a Buckeye, and so we're going to leave it as it is. And but college football right around the corner, high school football right around the corner, scrimmages going off. There's a big night of celebration and excitement going to happen in the Jackson-Madison County Public School System. And that is on August 11th, and I'll be out there along with my new position at Golden Media, the Fox Sports channel here in Jackson. Very excited about the opportunity to be a part of Fox Sports here in West Tennessee, to grow the brand of Fox Sports and to grow the brand of Sports Talk Live along with Fox Sports. And so we're going to be very excited about what's happening with sports here in Jackson. And we've got some really, I think, cool things coming up with sports here in the near future. So the major announcement that was coming from myself, Austin moving to Michigan and not necessarily being part of the Jackson Sun anymore. That's an announcement. All right, he broke that right here, and I kind of appreciate him telling us right here and holding that to become public right here on Sports Talk Live. But so the Hub City Sports Network is partnering with Fox Sports, and so we are being absorbed into the Fox Sports Network here in Jackson, and that is Golden Media and Talking Sports West Tennessee. So you'll see me on that channel moving forward. Doesn't mean that the Hub City Sports Network won't have something going on. The channels will still be there, but they'll be absorbed into what is now the Fox Sports Network. So you can check out articles and stories already published on fsrjackson.com. That's our website. The socials will be up and running very soon. And, hey, Jackson Christian already getting a win here, and we'll talk more about that. But Jackson Christian getting that win in their golf team, on their golf team. Not only did they get the team win, but they had a player I think placed first and third in that tournament. So high finishes for those guys. We'll talk a little more about that throughout the show. But hey, we'll get some information on that. Very excited. Coaches, if you're listening out there, football coaches will start every Saturday on the 23rd, bringing coaches in and recapping the night and those games, talking to players and more each and every Saturday right here, Sports Talk Live with the coach. Again, that will be predominantly on the Talking Sports socials and the Fox Sports Jackson Fox Sports Radio, FSR Jackson webpage, so you can watch all of those things there. I hear there's some rumor that these things will be on Roku, Amazon TV as well, so we're going to be excited about the opportunity to have those shows on there as well. So growing the brand, growing these things, very excited about these opportunities to be here in Jackson with sports at this time. And so hey, we're rocking and rolling. I mean, football is in session, and some 7-on-7 again August 11th. But there were scrimmages last night. We'll talk to Coach Williams about his scrimmage. I believe they scrimmaged Humboldt, scrimmaged Dresden last night. But there were scrimmages all over, and we'll talk to those coaches. What a beautiful night it ended up being on the 1st of August on a Friday here in West Tennessee for scrimmages. Right now, there was some rain that moved through and some lightning. I think the Rockabilly's game got rained out, lightninged out, whatever it was, and so it was a little difficult. But in the grand scheme of things, hey, we're excited to have them. And to be able to to be able to go to some of those rockabilly games this year and be a part of that. Some really good baseball going on, and if you and we kind of lack for some sports. We've got a little bit of soccer, some pre-professional soccer that goes on. We got a little bit of pre-professional baseball, so to speak, minor league baseball, prospect league baseball. And there has been some talk of maybe some minor league basketball or some football coming through. We've got football down in Haywood County with the Haywood Crusaders. We had Coach Rodney Clark in last week, and that's there are some opportunities to see some sports beyond the high school level or maybe even the college level right here in West Tennessee. So if you're a fan, guys, I really would encourage you to go out and support some of these pre-professional teams, right? So I know that this past year the Jackson Boom and the Jackson Ignite were in session. Of course, the Rockabillys. You've got, again, the Haywood Crusaders going to have football in Brownsville. There again some talk of having some other sports potentially here in West Tennessee, and so I would encourage you guys to go out and to be a part of those sports settings. Right, go out and support those teams because it's one of those things where those teams really can't continue to thrive if they don't have somebody that is buying a $10 ticket. And one of the things that I can assure you is that you cannot go very many places outside of Jackson, Nashville, or Memphis and find a ticket for $10. Guys, that's dirt cheap to go watch a game and support some teams, right? And so we're very excited. We've got, again, coming in this morning, Hayden Williams, the head coach over at Humboldt High School. And so we'll have him on this morning. Tab Val, head coach of the Peabody Golden Tide. Shane Jacobs, the legacy he kind of had at Peabody, he's now at USJ. He is I believe, the upper school or the high school director, principal, whatever they call that position over there. And so obviously the search commenced for a head coach, and Tab Val already on staff there. That just seemed like the perfect fit. He has coached with all of those guys before, and that were on staff, and a lot of those guys he coached with in the Jackson-Madison County school system. You'll remember Tab Val and his time at Northside High School. So very excited to continue to hear about what's going to happen with Tab Val at Peabody, and they got a transfer coming in. The transfer portal open. Yes, guys. I got a message here on the Facebook Live. We did mention the Jackson Boom and Jackson Ignite. Thank you, Mike, for reminding us about that. Yes, definitely an opportunity to see some great sports. I mean, I watched most of those games from the Ignite and Boom last year, especially all the home ones. And they were very competitive, and they had some victories and some losses, but to be able to go watch, and then the Boom brought in from Mexico, by Chivas. Yes, thank you. I had to think about it for a second. To be able to watch a team like Chivas come into West Tennessee, that's a team that plays on some of the upper echelon stages throughout the world. They're going to go play some very high caliber, high profile matches, and for them to come here, that's really cool, And so something that I heard is that Chivas has been here 2 years in a row. So what is the next potential the next potential program to come to West Tennessee? I've heard conversation about maybe the team from Real Madrid or some other nationality or national teams coming in to Jackson, Tennessee to play. And so, I think that would be really cool to see and to be able to see those things. You got to go to Nashville. We went to Nashville as part of the Jackson Boom. And watched USA versus Sweden. USA got their butts kicked. Sweden had their number that night. And, to be able to watch a game like that, to be able to see those teams, that doesn't happen very often. It doesn't happen. And so, the Rockabillys, they've got teams from all over the Prospect League, the southern part of the Prospect League, that come in and, they to be able to see some of those players that may be on or down the road will happen to have a chance to be at a minor league program for Major League Baseball, to be able to potentially get a tryout with a major league program. And to have that, and that's what every kid dreams of, right? Every kid that's a sports fanatic, they dream of those opportunities. They dream of, hey, I want to go play professional baseball someday. I want to be the next Aaron Judge or the next, of course, back in my day, it was the next Ozzie Smith or the next Mark McGwire or the next Barry Bonds, and so. And of course, even through some of those guys' heyday, I was an adult. So, I've got to go back even a little before those guys. Ozzie Smith, definitely when I was younger. Or you think about, hey, I want to be the next NFL guy. I want to be the next, Barry Sanders, or I want to be the next, Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboy quarterback, or I want to be, I want to be something that I can strive to be. But everybody's got to start somewhere, and these minor league programs, I really love. Hey, I got to give a shout out to Ginger Bryant watching this morning, and Ginger, welcome in. We need to get you back into the studio at some point here and talk about some union information. Because Coach Campbell over there, what a fabulous coach. But yeah, to go back, the fact to have some minor sports, to have our kids be able to go play. Coach Rodney Clark came in last week and he sat and talked about kids that maybe don't have the opportunity to go play college football. Here's an opportunity for them to do that. Here's an opportunity for them to have a place to go to continue to work on their skills, to continue to work under a coach and not lose or not have maybe some of those pressures that you have when you're working towards a goal, because you're sitting at the house. Nobody to push you, nobody to you can go work out and you can go throw footballs and shoot basketballs and do all that stuff on your own. You don't have to have somebody to do that. But what you do have to do is have to have somebody that makes you get up every morning to do those things. Sometimes we as humans, we find ourselves that we get complacent when we don't have somebody there that's pushing us for that next rep, for that next mile, for that next, shout out to Coach Pretty over at Jackson State and what they're doing over there. Hey, Jackson State, yeah, what the heck? Adding girls flag football to college around here. I am so excited about that. I cannot wait for that to kick off here in Jackson. A couple years down the road, maybe season 27, but nonetheless, they're going to start looking for coaches, and so it's going to be great to see that. And one of the things that I look forward to, and with these minor sports, is that these kids do not just get complacent and then don't have that opportunity or don't strive for that goal that they had of becoming that Major League Baseball. Now, the chances, and now baseball is a little different. I think there's more players in baseball because there's so many more teams and there's this and that. But with football, there's 1,500 players, give or take a few. There's 1,500 players in the NFL. Your chances of getting to the NFL are very slim, but there's a chance. You saying there's a chance? Yeah, I'm saying there's a chance that a player could get to the NFL, right? And so, you look at Trey Smith right here in Jackson, Tennessee. Trey Teague. Artist Hicks right here in Jackson, right? Al Wilson, right? What about the players that have come out of Jackson and have gone on to play in the NFL? So those stories are right here. There is an opportunity. There is a chance, right? You have to hone your skill and perfect your craft, but there's a chance. But you're not going to do that on your own. Nobody ever does that. Nobody has ever made it because they sat back in their living room and worked out on a home weight bench and threw some footballs or shot some basketballs in their backyard, and then just someday they went to a tryout and were the next Kobe Bryant's or Michael Jordan's or they were the next Aaron Judges or the next Dak Prescott's or the next all-star that happens. So it's just not possible. And so one of the things I think is really cool is that these minor programs give these kids an opportunity. And I say kids, they're not kids, they're young men and young women. They're quasi grown up, and I think that I think it's really awesome for these guys and gals to be able to have this opportunity, even here locally. Got people that Dennis over at the Rockabillys. You got Caesar Quispe at the Boom. You've got Rodney Clark down here with the Haywood Crusaders. There are folks that want to see this continue, and I can assure you, I know I've been behind the scenes with some of these organizations. I can assure you they're not getting rich off of this. In fact, in a lot of ways, they're getting even poorer than maybe they already are. And so, it takes away from their family, it takes away from their time. So, guys, let's get out and support them. I don't mean to get on a rant here, but let's get out and support these minor teams here. And so, again, great show lined up this morning for you. And we've got Hayden Williams, head coach of the Humboldt Vikings, coming in. We're going to talk about last season. We'll talk about entering into his second, I believe it's his second season there. And, taking over an 0-10 team, getting some wins last year. And the region changes for them could set them up for some success. And so it's nice to see the Humboldt Vikings putting a program back together, and really can't wait for them to kick off and to be able to watch football from Humboldt. So when all of these schools around West Tennessee are at their best, I'm telling you, I hate to go watch a game that is a 34-0, 54-0. Even in basketball, I hate to go watch a game that ends up being 75-20. Nobody wants to see that in the grand scheme of things. Nobody wants to watch a game in which there's no competitiveness. When it comes down to it, nobody wants that. I want my Buckeyes to go out and blow every team out. Yes, I want them to go beat the team up north 54-0, 65-0. I want them to do that. But I also know that blowouts like that, when they go play the Miamis of Ohio, the Akrons of Ohio, the North Dakota State middle school community college team, that does nothing to get them prepared for the games against Texas, right? They're going to open up the season against Texas, the team they beat in the playoffs with a brand new freshman quarterback. Well, not a freshman. It depends on who gets the job, right? It looks like the transfer from Alabama coming in is probably leading the pack, but nonetheless, it doesn't set them up for success if they go out and just blow everybody out because they're not playing any competition. I would even say that even as a former coach that I am, 26 years coaching, when I had a team that was anywhere near an undefeated season, they became overconfident. They became cocky. They become too dependent on the win. They expected, and I say, Coach, the dependent is not, how do you depend on the wins? They expected that they were going to win, and so the dependency is that they didn't prepare, right? And so they didn't prepare mentally. Even though I tried to prepare them, they didn't prepare mentally. And so I always preferred to have a loss. I didn't have a problem with the loss whatsoever. And, so it was one of those things that, it's going to be what it's going to be. So let's, we're rolling here, and I want to see if we can get on the line. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, let's see if we can get Coach Blake Stegall on the line. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Back in 60 seconds.
Planning your financial future can be a daunting task. With all the things you want to achieve, how do you prepare so your money will go the distance? Here's some advice that may help. Why not talk to your local Woodman Life representative? They can answer all your questions, and together you can fill out a free needs analysis to help identify your short and long-term financial goals. Our representative can then recommend insurance and annuity solutions to help make your financial future safe and secure, so that all those things you want to achieve remain firmly in your sights.
Hi, I'm Kelly Bonifer, your local Woodman Life representative. Did you know that the life insurance you have through work may not be there for you if you change jobs? Call me at 731-423-4784 to discuss your options for protecting your family's financial future.
Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society of Omaha, Nebraska. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
Get ready, basketball fans, and welcome to The Bounce, your go-to destination for all things hoops. Join us every Thursday night from 6 to 7 p.m. starting February 13th, as Andrew Hicks will bring you the wildest highlights, in-depth discussions on trades, injury updates, and those unforgettable buzzer beaters. Whether you're a hardcore enthusiast or just looking for some epic plays, we've got something for everyone. So grab your favorite snacks and tune in for the action-packed episodes each and every Thursday night on the Hub City Sports Network. Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends, and we'll see you in the next stream.
As the road you travel changes, so can your insurance needs. Talking with Farmers Insurance agent Jeremy Chandler can help you assess whether you're ready for the journey ahead. There's a reason the Jeremy Chandler Agency was voted Best Insurance Agency in VIP Magazine's Best in Jackson 2024. Give Jeremy a call today at 731-FARMERS and find out why. That's Jeremy Chandler at 731-327-6377 or contact him at 731farmers.com.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Hey, welcome back. We're here with, Caddy Sports Club, Coach T. Stratton live right here at Sports Talk Live, and we're having a little issues with our call phone this morning, and so we're going to try to call Coach Stegall here and try to get him on the line. So let me hook up my earpiece here, and let's see if we can get him on the line a different way. We're going to have to go a little bit of old school, but nonetheless, it is what it is. I got the wrong earbud. There we go. And let's see if we can get him on here this morning.
Coach Stratton, what's going on?
Hey man, we had to go a little different route this morning, and just do old school. Put the mic up to a phone because our call line phone is not for the network. For some reason, is not allowing it to connect. So I apologize. But Coach Blake Stegall, head coach of the Halls Tigers, and Coach, man, you're in year 2 at Halls. If I'm correct, am I correct?
Going into year 3.
Going
yes,
into
sir.
year 3, finishing year 2, and man, you and I kind of go back just a little bit, back to our Westview days.
That's right.
And man, I really appreciate you coming on and talking about the Tigers this morning. So, kind of just give us a rundown where you guys are headed into the season, and maybe some about your coaching staff, any changes, and then we'll jump into your schedule here.
Man, not a whole lot of changes. You know, we blinked and the season got here. I don't know where the summer went, but it went by fast. And, we had our first scrimmage last night, and so it's always like you did some things good, you did some things bad. You got a lot you want to clean up. for the second scrimmage next week, but that's typical after the first one. Man, roster overhaul, we lost a big senior class last year, but we've had a lot of kids step up. We've got somewhere between 30 and 32 kids on the team. But there are 30 to 32 kids that come in, and they've been here every day, 6 o'clock in the morning, ready to work. And so I feel like we've got a good mix of kids. We've got, the lunch pail type kids who will come in, check into work, and clock in and do whatever we ask them to do. The schedule changes a little bit this year, but, our kids, they haven't missed a beat. They're fired up. They're ready to just see what happens. They're tired of the weight room. They're tired of hitting each other. They're ready for Friday nights.
Yeah, you talk about that. It's difficult to continue to just beat on each other, so to speak. And you had that first scrimmage. Who'd you guys scrimmage last night?
We were in Liberty Tech out of Jackson.
Okay, all right. Were you guys at home, or did you guys travel to Liberty?
No, Liberty came here last night. Coach and them got off the bus, and I was just like, man, he's got some good-looking kids. And talking to him, he's going through a lot of the same things we are. He's a heavy underclassman type team. He's got a good group of seniors, but his freshmen and sophomores make up the bulk of his roster. You can tell they were young, but, man, they passed the eye test. So I think there's some good things coming to those guys. Hats off to them. But I was proud of our kids. We graduated 4 of our 5 offensive linemen from last year. So anytime you do that, it changes. I thought they made strides yesterday. We're obviously not where we want to be, but up front, I thought we did some really good things. We did some really bad things. I thought defensively we got after it. I was very proud of how the defense played, flew around to the ball, didn't blow any missed assignments, I think we lined up correctly to most of their formations. So that's all stuff you're looking for in first scrimmage or whatever. And that goes back to, you said it earlier and I didn't mention it, but that goes back to coaching staff. And so I think our coaches had them prepared and had us ready for anything they jumped in and out of.
Yeah. Any changes on your coaching staff this year?
We hired a new coach, Bryson Williams. He's been the head middle school coach for 5 years. We pulled him up to the high school, and he is going to be our special teams coordinator. We haven't had one of those in the past, and that's kind of that's on me. I should have already had that done, but now we have somebody who is, because I felt like we lost a game or 2 last year on special teams, and that's my fault. So we still have Marcus Montgomery's the D coordinator. Trey Vernon's the offensive coordinator. Bryson's going to be the special teams coordinator. And I have a list of position coaches, assistant coaches, Bubba Tettleton, Matt Booker, Turner Crowder, Baker Osborne, Andrew Scott, Drew Stegall, guys that are just behind the scenes that the more eyes we can, TJ Walsh, that's another one. He's new to the staff this year. The more eyes we can get on kids, the more individual coaches those kids get. And I heard somebody, the ref, he laughed last night. He said, "You guys mean coaches at Henry County?" I said, "Well, sir, I don't mean to say nothing, but it's still not enough. We want every kid to get eyes on him on every play. Every kid needs to be coached up on every play. And so the more we have, the better we'll be in that aspect."
Right. Hey, we talk about last year. You guys had a pretty successful season. In the scheme of things, the region obviously going to change for you guys. So leaving the Greenfield, Dresden, Lake County, Humboldt region, Union City is leaving with you. So that's of course in South Fulton and Gleason. And you guys are still going to play. I see Humboldt on your schedule to open the season this year. But talk to us about moving from the region because you guys, that's a pretty tough 1A region, but you guys are moving into a 2A region with Huntington. Of course, again, Union City following you guys, but Huntington, Peabody, Milan, Gibson County, and JCM, who kind of has maybe kind of found or rekindled what they had back in the day. You guys really jump, out of the frying pan into the fire with this region.
That's right. I told kids worked hard last off season. First year we came in, we got here a little late. We tried to install some stuff, and that season wasn't as good as we wanted it to be. And so the kids got to work immediately as soon as it was over, and we had a little bit better year. And I said, congratulations, boys, y'all got promoted. I said, y'all did so well, we got promoted to the next level. And so now we're in there with some different schools that, Halls has played some of those schools in the past. We've got a couple schools on our schedule we've never played in the past. We've kind of looked up the history records and just kind of seen what that series has typically been like, what the last time they played. And so our kids know that. I got those hanging on the wall in the weight room so they can look at it. They can see what it was like, and then we can see what we got ahead of us. I've heard a couple people joke we're in the SEC of high school football. And I mean, we're in there with some, you said it earlier about when West Tennessee football is good, it's good. We're in there with some powerhouses. The Peabodys, the Milans, the Huntingtons, JCMs, Union Cities, Gibson County. Just all of them have rich traditions. And when you start thinking of them, you start thinking of players that have played there in the past. So there is no easy week. And then our non-district schedule, we open up with Humboldt. Coach Williams has done a great job there. That game last year was straight fireworks. I think the final was like 42-38. I mean, it was a shootout all the way to the end. So I mean, we want to set our kids up so that they have to compete week in and week out, no matter who the name is. That we just, hey, we got to lace the cleats up, put the helmet on, we got to go play ball.
Yeah, definitely. Now you got some of these teams like Huntington and Milan and Jackson Central Mary at home. But you look at that Jackson Central Mary team from last year. They go into Milan and get a big win there. Of course, they have to face Milan in the playoffs, and it ends up being a 7-14 overtime victory for Milan. But could have easily been a 14-7 overtime victory for JCM. JCM that last game of the season, that really could be a defining moment for either one of those teams, yours or JCM, and a playoff push. So how do you approach this season knowing that, hey, last year, the teams that we played like Dresden and Gleason and some of those teams are not as stout. It is what it is, but you just said it earlier, talking about the SEC maybe schedule of high school football in West Tennessee. You're in there with some stout teams, and there is no off week, as you mentioned. How do you prepare to close out the season against a region opponent like JCM?
Well, and, it's just a whole new set of challenges because whether, our last year's 1A region, whether they had the number of kids that say Milan and Huntington's have, or they have the caliber kids, a lot of those teams were still really well coached, and they put those kids in a lot of very good situations to make those kids successful. Well, now we've got that same thing with maybe a roster size is just a little more. So now this team has more depth. Maybe they have a couple more kids that, could go to the next level, that kind of thing. And so on our end, we have to bulk up with our injury preventness because we're at a roster size where 1 or 2 injuries could derail everything we do. Right. We can't just stick in number 2 on the roster. If somebody goes down for us, more than likely we're having to rearrange what everybody plays to try to make pieces fit. And so that's a challenge because that's something we haven't always had to do or whatever. But so that my thing is just we need to stay healthy. One thing I noticed in the scrimmage last night I'll bring in is we need to be more cohesive up front. And that's because we've had a revolving door. We're trying to see who's going to fit what piece. And we've tried some different combinations. And I think, by the time we get to JCM, like you're talking about, surely we've had the same lineup in for multiple weeks. And maybe you know how it is. You start playing together with those guys, you start becoming a little bit better. Your chemistry is a little better. You know what the guy beside you is going to do, and it's not like a change in revolving door right there. And so I think once we get to that point, I hope we're hitting on all cylinders and that our kids are comfortable in what we're doing at that point.
Yeah, most definitely. Coach, issue with the phone this morning. I do apologize about that, and I know you've got a 10 o'clock appointment, but talk to us real quick about your roster. What your seniors, who can we be looking for? Who do you think might have a breakout season this year? So as you guys come this way for some of your games this year that our people around Jackson may see you or travel to your place to watch, who can they be expecting to see? A senior that's going to be moving to the next level, or a breakout player for you guys?
And I'll just mention my seniors real quick. We had a returning all-state free safety who, according to Max Preps, he led the entire state in interceptions last year of every classification. Caden Pikefuss, he's an athlete. Oh, and I don't put him at any position because we can play him at safety, at outside backer. He can play corner. He can play wideout. He can play quarterback. He can play running back. We'll move him around a lot. So Cato's a really good player for us. We got a corner and a wideout, Jalen Driver, who as well as a senior, explosive. He made a couple good plays out here yesterday. Middle linebacker Ethan Beasley, he missed 3 games last year, and he still had 90-plus tackles once he took over a starting role. He was flying around yesterday as well. Jeremiah Harris is a wing and a D lineman. We move him inside, outside, up front on defense, and he's got great hands. And at wing, I mean, he's in the pass game, he's in the run game, and he's blocking down on a lot of our buck sweep stuff. So he's a kid to look for. Hunter Green, senior O lineman. Man, he's played everywhere up front for a center guard tackle. He played tight end as a sophomore. Great feet, great leader in the locker room. Strong presence up front. And then the last one is Jace Casperson. He's a receiver. He actually got hurt yesterday. But good news is I think he'll be back here in about 4 to 6 weeks. And so, man, he's just a good locker room presence. This is a good group of kids to lead all the underclassmen. We're really heavy in our underclassmen. We got some all-region guys that I didn't mention. We got a new quarterback under center who's a baseball kid, lefty that I'm excited about. I mean, we got a whole bunch of names, but I know we don't have time to go through all of them. But, I mean, these kids right here set the tone for the rest of the roster.
Most definitely, Coach. You played under and even coached under the legendary Don Cody.
That's right,
man. How many times have you just had a tendency to go? Let's run fullback dive.
A lot. Last year, that was one of our best plays. So when we called it, I was just like, man, you talk about a throwback. This year, we backed up. We're in the gun a little bit more. So we've run it a time or two. But, I mean, hey, it don't matter what offense you run. It don't matter who. That is always a go-to at some point because football is just about getting down and getting after it. And that's one of the most get downhill, get after it plays you can run. Yeah,
you could almost be guaranteed a 50% split of fullback dives out of Don Cody back in the day. And so, man, Coach, I know you got an appointment here, and like I said, our phone issue this morning, network, so we had to go to Plan B. But the 23rd, we kick off the coaches show right here at Caddy's. You're welcome to come down and bring some kids. I know it's a little bit of a drive, but you're welcome to do so any Saturday. But if not, we'd love to get you at least on the phone to talk about your kids and your program each week. And so if you're open for that, we can have a conversation about that later. But man, we wish you nothing but much success this year. Of course, the guy that you're going to see week 1 just walked through the door, Coach Williams, and so he'll be on with us here at the 10 o'clock hour. But we wish you guys nothing but success, and very, very proud to watch your ascent to your head coach position and what you're doing over there at Halls. Man, heads up guy, and if you're in that area, you couldn't ask for a better man and a better coach for your kids in Blake Stegall, and that guy Drew I think is pretty good as well. So
depends on the day. Depends on what day it is.
Hey, is your dad helping you out any?
He's very critique-like, and I usually get all that after the game, but I usually get a word or two in from him after the fact.
Yeah. Hey, what a legendary coach up at Martin and at the middle school, and of course your mom was my bookkeeper for a while when I was a vice principal at Westview, and Donna, and what a great family. You guys are just it's very proud to know, and again to watch where you've come as a young man and a college student all the way up into adulthood here, and kind of starting your own family and doing those things. So I'm very proud to call you a friend and to watch what you're doing over there at Halls, man. It's very exciting. So we wish you nothing but success and good luck on the season. And like I said, the 23rd, maybe we can get you guys back in. And if you can make the drive to Jackson, love to have you here in studio, bringing your kids, and we'll get them on. We are moving to the Fox Sports channel, Sports Talk Live. So it'll be a bigger brand, Fox Sports in West Tennessee. And so we'd love to have you any Saturday.
All right, that sounds good. Just let us know, and we'd love to get them out there.
Awesome, Coach. Good luck with your season, and we'll talk again soon.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks. Coach Blake Stegall, head coach of Halls High School, right here. Well, I say right here in Jackson. He's not right here in Jackson, but he's here in West Tennessee. And I'm telling you what, right now, as I said, if you are if you're a parent of anybody that lives in that area of the Halls community, be very proud in who you have as head coach over there, because as a former administrator of a high school in which we hired this young man, Blake Stegall, to be an assistant coach on the football team, and as well as the teacher in our building. You can't find too many better men out there than Blake Stegall, because he is a heads up guy, and I'm proud to call him friend, and to watch him kind of grow up just a little bit. I met him as a young man. He was already in college, but got to watch him start teaching and start coaching, and and I know that his who he coached under his dad. Is a fabulous coach, and man, but Don Cody, he played for Don up there at Westview, and it is it's a pleasure to watch where this young man goes. Hey guys, we're going to take a 60-second break real quick. When we come back, Hayden Williams from Humboldt High School in the studio right here on Sports Talk Live. Guys, don't go away. We'll be back. I promise you, no more than 60 seconds. What's up, Coach? Man, live in the dream. I'll tell you this right now. Nightmares at a time. It's crazy. Good, man. Good to see you. You don't have to get right up on it. About 6 inches from it would be great.
Financial future safe and secure, so that all those things you want to achieve remain firmly in your sights.
Hi, I'm Kelly Bonifer, your local Woodman Life representative. Did you know that the life insurance you have through work may not be there for you if you change jobs? Call me at 731-423-4784 to discuss your options for protecting your family's financial future.
Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society of Omaha, Nebraska. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Live. That's me right here. Well, that's not me. I'm Coach T. Stratton, but Coach T. Stratton on Sports Talk Live right here at Caddy's Sports Club, and man, we are excited about our next guest, first-time guest here on Sports Talk Live with the coach. And I'm going to turn my little cup around for just a second, because I want to make sure that as we're talking about football, it is what it is. And, I'm one of like 6 people around West Tennessee wearing this stuff, but I wear it proudly because, national champs, it is what it is. But, Coach Williams, head coach of the Humboldt Vikings, and we, welcome into Sports Talk Live this morning.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited you asked me to come on.
Man, we are excited that to have the opportunity to talk about football. I mentioned earlier in the show that when I don't like watching football when teams go out and just get clobbered. Now, there are times when one team is superior, and if you're a 1A school and you go out and you schedule Henry County, well, that's just on you because you might end up in that situation, right? So, and I get it. But in the grand scheme of things, your region schedules are what they are, and they should be pretty evenly matched. But when our teams around West Tennessee are all somebody's obviously going to lose a game, but when you're competitive and you go out week after week and you can compete and you can win some games and you go down the wire, watching these games, man, it's awesome. And it's great to see that after a few years, Humboldt struggled, to see to get some wins under the belt, get some confidence, and to be able to start competing. That Halls game last year, Coach Stegall just talked about it, coming down to the wire. You guys got a couple wins elsewhere, and so to see that, throughout the season is one of those great moments that Humboldt back into some competitiveness here. And you guys took Greenfield down the wire. It was a 21-14 loss. A tough game against Dresden. They come out with a little bit of a lopsided win there, 44-26. But you guys put up some points on them. Then you go out and play bigger schools like McNary and such. And it is what it is. But you go to Gleason or you're at home against Gleason, you get that win there, come from behind victory there. But that 42-38 game against Halls on the road, you guys really competed well, and so very, very happy to see the success coming out of the Viking camp there. But let's talk about this year, because that year's over with, right?
Absolutely.
And let's talk about this year, and let's talk about the first off, you got some additions to your coaching staff. That's been all over social media, and some good things that people are saying, and some bad things because of where they're leaving. The people are saying, and it is what it is. It's if you're the coach, you're the life of a coach. It is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
But let's talk about your coaching staff and introduce your program to us here on Sports Talk Live. And then we'll get into the team and your schedule here in a minute.
Absolutely. Our newest addition is Coach Brian Smith. He's coming to us from Brewston. He's originally from Jackson. He played at Northside a few years after me. But he's a great guy. He's a great coach, and he's a great friend to everyone on our coaching staff. So we are excited to have him. Everyone else on my staff kind of stayed the same. We have Coach Caleb Cox coming back. He was my defensive coordinator last year. We have Coach Trayvon Brown, who's a Humboldt Viking through and through. He played at Humboldt, graduated in 2014 when they had a pretty good year over there. And then Coach Con Swift, which is another Jackson native. He played at Southside, class of 2012. So got to play against him a few times, and me and him built a friendship over the years. So when I got to Humboldt, he was already on staff for basketball over there, and I was like, dude, you got to come coach football for me. So he's come out, and he's been great. And we talked about that Dresden game last year. I actually missed that game for the birth of my daughter.
Well, if you're going to miss it, you better miss it for that.
Coach Swift ended up calling the offense in that game, and, man, he did a great job. Like you said, it ended up a little lopsided, but about halftime of that game, it was a 7-point game, and I was on FaceTime with him at halftime talking him through everything. So, man, but I love my coaching staff. I'd put them up against anyone, man. They're a great bunch of guys and great friends to me.
Yeah, most definitely. And like you said, some guys that you played against or you kind of grew up against. Not necessarily in the same school, but
absolutely
in the same community. And to be able to it's awesome to see. I've been in this community now for nearly 20 years, and it's awesome to see that our young people are growing up, graduating, coming back, and giving back into their community.
Absolutely.
Because, our communities don't thrive without that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's easy to go off to Chattanooga to college or to Knoxville to college, and not come back because you get to a different world and you meet somebody, you get married, you're like, well, let's just settle down over here, or let's do this. In our community we've just lived in for 4 years.
And,
it's
and that
easy.
was kind of me for the first few years of my coaching
Right.
career. I went up to Tennessee Tech in Cookeville. I ended up settling around there. I was in Cookeville for a few years, and then I ended up at Trousdale County for a few years. And I stayed there for 2 years, and my wife and I, we decided, we wanted to move back to West Tennessee. So ended up coming back around here, and we're happy that we did.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially now with the baby.
Oh, yeah.
To say that grandmas and grandpas that are close. Right?
Absolutely.
So, I can attest to that. Even my son now, 21, almost 22, we kind of, one of the reasons us getting here to West Tennessee is because this is where grandma was at, and so it was tough. But let's talk about your roster just a little bit.
Yeah.
Of course, you've got a running back that's pretty good. It's got some awards, some recognition.
Absolutely.
And talk about your roster. Talk about your seniors. Who can we be looking for some big nights on the field?
Yeah, our running back, Jeremiah Jones, he's coming back to us. This will be his senior year. We're excited about him. We think he's going to have an even better year this year. He's put on a lot more muscle this year. We've gotten him in the weight room all off season, so we're just excited for the outlook for him for sure. We have a small senior class. We have KD Taylor. He was our quarterback last year, coming back to us. He had a pretty good year last year. Great athlete. He plays in the secondary for us as well. One of our linemen, he plays left tackle for us. David Jeter, we're looking for him to be that senior presence on the line, be that upperclassman who helps everyone else up front. And then outside of that, we have a few newer guys coming to us playing football for their senior year, just coming out of the school, getting a few more kids to come out. We have DeAnthony Norman, who hopefully we're going to be able to get him in the right spots to help us. We have another big lineman, Devon Pettigrew, who's coming out to help us. And then our last senior is Keyshawn Cole. He ended up getting hurt last year, not cleared yet. So we're looking hopefully mid-season to get him back, but he'll be a big addition. He's probably the biggest person on our team.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get him back about midway through the year.
Numbers-wise, how's your numbers looking for this year?
Numbers are up. We have on roster, I think it's about 32 guys.
Okay.
So it's up from about 22, 23 last year. So we're happy with that. We have a good freshman group, a really good sophomore group that we had last year as freshmen, playing a lot of them. So, we have a good group of young men that have stuck through with Humboldt,
right? Which
is the big thing, like you talk about with the transfer portal opening up, with kids, looking to move to get more opportunities.
Yeah.
All my kids have kind of stayed true, and I couldn't ask for anything more than that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's give us your thoughts on that ruling. I know that it's tough because you work in the TSSAA system, right? I don't necessarily have. I work in the public school system, but I'm not coaching anymore, so I can look at that a little more objectively, maybe. But how do you feel about the high schools in general? Just that rule coming through.
Well, I just feel like it's part of the game,
Okay.
Of course, we're all going to have our opinions about it. Is it going to hurt 1A schools? It could potentially hurt them very much. But it's part of the game, right?
Yeah.
As coaches, we have to overcome and adapt just like we ask our players to, and it's where we're moving in the world of sports. So is it great? No, not to the smaller schools.
Right.
But, when you start winning, it could potentially help those smaller schools.
Right.
So, it's kind of a double-edged sword there.
Well, and you talked a little bit about, some kids sticking with you. And when you start to win some games, you don't have to go 10-0.
Oh, yeah.
But if you start to have some success, and those kids that are in the building that want to be a part of that success, right? Nobody wants to be considered the losers.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So they want to be on a winning team. And so you guys go out and you get some success this past year, win a few games, and are competitive in several others that, against some schools now that even have jumped to a higher classification. as Halls.
Right.
And so you go out and you do that. It's going to be it's a not only a feather in your cap as a coach, but it's a momentum builder within the program.
Absolutely. Like I said, man, I'm happy to have these guys. One of our guys yesterday actually got a big-time offer. Got offered from Vanderbilt.
I saw that, yeah.
Mr. Darian Taylor, he came to us last year. He was at West Carroll his freshman year.
Right.
His whole family's in Humboldt, so he ended up moving back in with his mom and coming to us. A lot of people thought he was only going to play basketball at Humboldt, basketball school, but he ended up coming out there for us and having a good year last year, and he's had a great offseason playing basketball and playing football with us, man. And he got that offer yesterday, and we were all pumped for him, man. I was talking to Coach Cox yesterday, headed to our scrimmage against Scotts Hill, and I was like, dude, I felt like I got the offer. I said, I was just so happy for the kid, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did that scrimmage go?
We did really well in it.
Okay.
Scotts Hill's young. They got a lot of freshmen on their team. Coach Hooper's doing a good job over there. He's doing everything he can. I think they had like 31 kids or something,
Okay.
but over half of them were freshmen.
Yeah.
So they have a long way to come, but if they stick together, I think they're going to have a pretty good team down the road. But we did really well against them. Defensively, we were flying around. Some of our young guys from last year who were kind of scared to make a tackle were getting in there, laying a few licks.
Nice.
So we were happy to see it for sure.
Yeah. And, of course, you talk about, what Scotts Hill what they have. When you take 15 freshmen or 16 freshmen, they stay together for 3 or 4 years.
That's a scary team.
That's
and
a scary team
their
down the
senior
road.
year
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
so as long as they stick together, man, that's the big thing.
The good news is it wouldn't be scary against you because they're not on the region, right?
Absolutely.
So, it is what it is. You go out and scrimmage. But, hey, let's talk about this schedule because, for the 1A schedule, this is one of the more difficult schedules throughout the state. You look at the success West Carroll's had over the years, now his mind just escapes me. He went and became the head coach at Henry County. Josh Wolf.
Yes, sir.
Was there for a while, and of course then they went through some coaching changes, but they had a lot of success through those coaching changes. Dresden looks like they're maybe back into to some success that they've had.
Absolutely.
Back to the Dresser win days and even before, obviously. Greenfield's always a tough team. Lake County, Gleason, that's your South Fulton, that's your region. And then you go and schedule non-region games at Halls against Peabody. You talked about Tab Val coming in here a little bit later. And then, of course, you got Lakeland Prep there to finish out the season. But you go through this region schedule, and then Middleton, I didn't mention there in the middle. You go through this region schedule. You guys, competitive in these region games last year. You could find yourselves knocking on a potential playoff door this year if a ball bounces a little bit different way for you, as those oblong footballs can.
Absolutely.
When they hit the ground. But if you guys catch a break or two here, I mean, you guys could potentially looking at some playoffs.
And that's our goal as a team this year, man. We talk about it with our kids every day. We had a little success last year. A few bounces go a different way, and we win a few of those games, and we're on the door to the playoffs last year. So, looking at this year, man, playoffs are our goal. We talk about it with our kids every day. Our kids will break it down with how they break it down at the end of the day, but we went out and scheduled Halls and Peabody to start it because we want to see a look those first few weeks, right? We want to get ready for those region games. And Halls, we played really good last year, so we thought getting them back on the schedule would be, good. It's a good game, and they're kind of competitive. They're comparative to us size-wise,
right?
A little bit. Peabody's, 8-10 minutes down the road. We talked about Coach Jacobs. He was, when I was at Northside, he was my defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Coach Val, who's now the head coach, he was my head coach at
Right.
Northside. So, and with it being 8 minutes down the road, it's a game those kids want to play.
Yeah.
It's a good game for the community. We got it at home this year. It's our home opener at that, so I'm expecting a big crowd out for that one. It'll be good, to get money into our program, but like I said, just to build up that community a little bit. Middleton, Coach James Davis over there, I worked with him when I was at Bolivar for a few years, and he was helping me out on my football staff, and he had an opportunity to go over to Middleton, so I talked with him and finally convinced him to play us. So we're looking forward to that game. He's a good friend of mine, though. And then, like I said, we end it with Lakeland Prep, who's kind of a newer school. Don't really know what to expect out of them right now. They're coming off baseball winning a state championship, so I mean they got athletes in the school. So I mean we're gonna see what they have this year for sure, and we're excited about it. We wanted kind of that competition out of those non-region games for when we do try and make that playoff push, because you don't know what you're going to see those first few weeks of the playoffs.
Yeah. Now, you guys, other than South Fulton, which is the game 3 of the season, you got to have your region schedule back to back there. So every week, obviously, very important.
Absolutely.
Down that stretch, and you guys kick that off again with South Fulton at South Fulton, and then West Carroll at home, Dresden at home, on the road at Greenfield, on the road at Lake County. Which is always an interesting place to play. I've been to that field several times as a coach and as an administrator, and watched those games. So Lake County is a very good football team, and of course, Josh Puckett there winning some state championships over the years,
absolutely,
and things like that. It's one of those things where, to me, it's that drive when you get off of that 55 and you take that up to Lake County. It's sometimes your team just, it's almost like you go through a doldrum of some sort, and you lose all focus and composure on that 30-mile stretch or whatever it is there, 25-mile stretch. And it's like it just sucks the life out of you or something. I don't know what it is about that. But you're at Lake County, and then you finish up the region at home against Gleason, and then you said Lakeland Prep there at home. But how have you prepared your team this year? What have you said to your team this year after having some success? Not necessarily in the win column in the region, but getting some wins, having some success, playing some teams very tight in the region. What have you said to your team this year that you feel is going to kind of put them over the top and get them to take this play a little differently or that play a little differently?
The big thing for us was last year, a lot of the times defensively we were in position, right? We were just a little too weak to make the play or a little too scared to go in there and make the hit. So that's kind of what we focused on all off season, talking to these guys every day. We focused on getting bigger and stronger, so we had a little more confidence going into those region games, because as you see on that schedule, a lot of those region teams are run heavy, so they want to get downhill and they want to out physical you. Yeah. So we had to get in the weight room and get physical. So we spent a lot of the off season in that weight room. We're still in the weight room 3 days a week headed into the season. So we're focused on getting bigger and stronger and just building confidence up with those young guys that we have. Like I said, we have 6 seniors, 2 of which have never played football for us. I don't know if they have in the past, but they hadn't played for us at all. And then, our junior class is a little bit bigger. I think we have 7 or 8, but there are also guys in there who had to step up as sophomores and play meaningful downs for us last year as underclassmen. So
and that's huge, especially in schools like 1A schools where
absolutely,
those numbers you talked about, Scotts Hill having half a team, almost a freshman. Those kids as freshmen are going to play in some meaningful spots that are going to mean something for them next year. Right?
Absolutely.
And so you kind of find yourself in that situation with those sophomores. How do you talk to a sophomore and get them? I mean, that's a 15-year-old kid, right? I mean, how do you get them to understand that when I put you in there and you play this meaningful down, it's not just about the down you're playing right now, but it's about building that success for what you're going to do over the next 2 years. Absolutely.
And, that's every kid's different. You got to have conversations with kids different. Some kids, as you can hoot and holler at, you can yell at, and they're perfectly fine with it. Other kids, you got to take a little more softer approach with them. But it's just talking to them, that communication factor with them, and knowing your kids about how to talk with them.
But what is that message? Because the message at the end, whether it's hooting and hollering or the soft, gentle approach, is still the same.
It has to be
Still
the same.
What is that message to a 15-year-old kid?
It's just about getting confidence.
Yeah.
So it's telling them, hey, this snap, it's our job as coaches. We're going to put you in the spot that we feel like you need to be in, right? It might not always be right, but we're going to put you in the spot we feel like you need to be in.
And then
go out there and have some confidence.
Right. But then as a coach coming back and saying, hey, we put you there, that was our mistake.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't set you up for the success that you needed.
Absolutely.
Whether they got
it's accountability on all ends. So I mean,
and I think kids
I'm the first
that.
I'm the first one to tell you if I make a mistake, I'm going to own up to it, and my kids will tell you the same thing. If I call the wrong play on the play call sheet and they're all looking at me like I'm stupid, I'm going to be like, hey, that's my bad. We're supposed to be running this play. And it happens, heat of the moment, heat of the game. You're like, all right, call this play. Kids are looking around like, I don't think we can run that here.
Right. I can't run 4 vertical go routes on the 1 yard line going into the end zone, Coach.
Yeah,
I've got 11 yards to run here.
Well, that's my bad. Timeout.
And it's great to be able to have that relationship with those kids, right? To be able to that they can look at you and say, "Hey, Coach, I'm not sure that this is the right thing," or and you have that relationship with them because in a program where not talking negatively about Humboldt, but they've experienced not experienced success for a few years. They struggled for a few years.
Right.
Those 0-10 seasons really wear on you. We could talk about Liberty here in Jackson-Madison County the same way. 0-60, it wears on you. Let's break it down. They went independent this year. They're going to try to build some success.
Absolutely.
And then come back and just them getting a win. And it was kind of the same way for Humboldt. They hadn't had a win in a few years, a couple years there at Humboldt, and you come in and you build some success. But that relationship that you built with your players, man, it's so crucial for them to look at you and you to look at them and know that they trust you and you trust them. Even to say, Coach, what are we doing?
Absolutely. Like you said, it's all about that relationship with the kids, and that's kind of the message I went in there with. We're going to be a family. I end every day breaking it down with I love you guys, because I want them to know that they are loved, all right, by the whole coaching staff. Kids nowadays, you don't know what they have at home, right? You don't know, when the last time they've been told they're loved.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we end every day with, hey, I love you guys, let me know if you need anything. And that's just kind of a big thing for us, is those relationships with those kids. And I think that helps in that transfer portal aspect of those kids not wanting to go and leave you to go somewhere else. It's just building those relationships with your starting running back, but also your 4th string corner.
Right. And I think about that transfer rule, in today's society, I don't think it's quite as hard to get noticed as a player at a Humboldt or at a Gleason or at a Greenfield that's kind of off the beaten path,
Absolutely.
so to speak, as it used to be.
Yeah.
Because social media is everywhere, right? These kids are marketing themselves, right?
Every day.
And at some point, nil money may come to the high school, right? That's another topic
Very
that we
well
don't talk
could.
about yet. But at some point, because some states are already starting to dabble in it, states like Florida and California and Georgia and places, where there's some bigger profile schools like that. I'm sure that the conversations with the Maryvilles and the Alcoas and the Good Pastures, that there's been some conversations already there. But you think about these kids marketing themselves. Social media is everywhere. So all you got to do is just get yourself on film. And now that most of these schools are having a streaming presence, they've got that film.
Yeah.
Where used to, and you can't attest to this because even your playing time was DVD, and it was so much easier to copy a DVD.
Right.
But it was almost impossible to copy VHS tapes back in the day, splice them and put them together and do all that kind of stuff. You had to be a wizard to do all that. And to get a highlight film from a coach might have taken months.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's almost
It's
instantaneous.
instant, yeah.
Right? I mean, it's just so easy. So
for a kid that has a coach such as yourself, a young man that grew up in the Jackson area, that went away, had some success, came back home and wanted to be a part of this community of West Tennessee, and sitting under the tutelage in high school under Tab Val. I mean, what a coach, man! What a great guy. 10-0 seasons at Northside.
Absolutely.
Of course, Shane Jacobs there with him during those times. Goes on to Peabody, wins some state championships over there, and what a legacy he's left at Peabody there.
Absolutely.
Now, Tab Val taking over that program there at Peabody, and of course he got a pretty good transfer himself, coming from Gibson County there.
Absolutely.
Quarterback as a sophomore, and but you think about what you've learned. I talked with Coach Stegall about that same thing. He sat under a legendary coach in Don Cody in West Tennessee, one of the winningest coaches in all of football here in Tennessee in high school. Don Cody was a great example of leadership and coaching knowledge and things. And so I'm sure. Other than maybe the rocking portion, I'm sure you think back to, hey, how did Coach Tab Val or how did Coach Shane Jacobs handle this situation, and even have conversations with those guys that are right down the road from you?
Absolutely. Those guys influenced me a lot as a man and as a coach.
Yeah.
So I definitely think back on those Tab Val days a lot, and me and Coach Smith, who I hired recently, he also played under Val, so me and him have had a lot of conversations over the past, few weeks, even about, just some of the things that Coach Val's done and some of the old war stories of those days.
Yeah.
But man, they definitely influenced me a lot, and I'm really looking forward to that Week 2 game with Coach Val, with Peabody at Humboldt, just for that reason, because that was my head coach, and it'd be when I was at Trousdale. Made it to the state championship our first year, and we lost to Peabody on the first leg of their three-peat. So, I got to coach against them in that game as an assistant. So that was a cool moment for me. But getting to be head coach against head coach Tab Val, Week 2, man, it's going to be special for me for sure.
Yeah, it's some bittersweet moments, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
To have those experiences and then to walk across the field afterwards, win or loss, and to shake the hand and give a little hug to somebody that that helped you get to where you were, and as you said, molded you as a man and as a coach. That's just really awesome to see. You talked about those relationships. I had a kid come into my classroom the other night, open house, and I'm back at Northside myself, so that's where I'm at. And the question that came out of their mouth is, "Hey, are we gonna have breakfast on Monday?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna have
for
breakfast
sure
on Monday. It's school, right?" And they just said, "Okay," and they left. And it got me thinking a little bit later. Because I had that kid last year in a different class, and I'll have him in biology this year. And so it got me thinking, is like, how many times did that kid eat breakfast over the summer?
Right.
If they're coming back on a Thursday night to ask if we're going to have breakfast on Monday.
Absolutely.
They're going to eat breakfast between now and Monday, And so it got me thinking, is that kid came into my classroom because they knew who I was, and that relationship,
absolutely,
the professional relationship that we had as a student teacher last year, they were able to, they felt comfortable coming in and asking me. That's kind of a personal question, really.
It is.
Because you're putting yourself out there as being vulnerable when you ask that type of question. Because my first thing is, I went to a guidance counselor and said, "Hey, has anybody checked on so-and-so, this past summer? Is there anything going on? Is there something I should know?" Right? And so, not trying to get too personal in their lives, but, as a football coach, you spend a lot of time with the coach or these kids, or
absolutely,
kids spending time with coaches over the course of a year or 4 years or whatever they're with them. And having those relationships, man, it's just so important.
It is.
Coach, we talked about your coaching staff, and you guys have really added some firepower there, and some guys that other teams really hated to lose.
Absolutely.
I completely understand, and I've seen the comments across social media. But you guys started out there. You guys got a very tough region schedule. in West Tennessee. These teams definitely no slouches. And your non-region schedule is probably one of the toughest as well. When you look at Halls, Peabody, and Middleton there, Lakeland Prep are still up in the air on what they're going to be and how they're going to be. But you stated they got athletes, and when you got athletes, you got a chance.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just the way it is. It doesn't matter. I was talking about when I was coaching in Florida. One year we had the fastest kid in America, and first kid I ever saw break the 4.2 mark in high school, and it was like people would ask me as offensive coordinator that, and I'd say, it doesn't matter what play I call. I've just got to get the ball in his hands.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, I don't care if he runs toss left, toss right, lead left, lead right, or goes back out on a wheel route in a passing scheme. I don't really care what it is. We've got
get the ball in his
fastest
hand.
kid in America. I've got an athlete.
You
I've
got to
a
get the
chance,
ball in his hand.
So that's what you got to do. And so when you of course, you'll have obviously some time to prepare for a Lakeland Prep because it's the last game of the season.
Yeah.
You'll see what they do throughout the season and can make adjustments to that. But talk to us a little bit about your time at Humboldt. Of course, Janice Epperson, Director of Schools over there, and they've had some leadership changes through some of the schools and whatnot. But talk to us about the community support, because people around Jackson are very familiar with Humboldt. Of course, the Humboldt Festival Strawberry Festival up there, and
absolutely,
and schools, the kids in the parades and all this kind of stuff. But if somebody wants to help out in some way, that maybe they want to provide a team meal for you guys, or you guys are closing out a fundraiser, or maybe you just did.
Yeah, we are.
But how can somebody reach out to Humboldt and support the Viking football program in any way? How can they do that?
Lucky for us, like you said, you talked about Dr. Epperson, who's been fantastic since I've been at Humboldt. She's been just wonderful. We have our athletic director, George Yarbrough, who's, he's willing to help in any way he can as well. So for us, that whole community has been very supportive throughout this since I've been there. And reaching out to anyone at that district office, they'll get it back in touch with me, which is fantastic. We are closing out a fundraiser. It's our Money Dolly, our smart card fundraiser. I think we've raised a little over $3,000 on that so far. So, for a little 1A school in Humboldt, that's not too bad, but obviously we're looking to push for a little bit more money. That one closes out on Tuesday.
Okay.
And we're bringing advertising signs back around the football field at Humboldt. We've been running that one. I think we have 10 or 12 sponsors already.
Okay.
Looking to get more.
Nice.
So any local business in Jackson, Humboldt, West Tennessee area as a whole, just feel free to reach out to me. I can get you all the information on that. But yeah, the community's been great so far, and I don't have any problems with them.
Well, and it's nice to see. I mean, when the lights kick on a Friday night and the fans start to roll into the stadium, and as I said, when West Tennessee football, when everybody seems to be, and again, not everybody's going to win the game. Somebody has to lose.
Absolutely.
But when it's competitive football around West Tennessee, I mean, this is some of the best football in the country. And it's awesome. I've had the opportunity to coach and to play, or not play, but to coach and watch as a school administrator some of the best teams like Haywood and Westview and Northside back in the day, Southside, JCM. I mean, when they were good, the football is some of the best. And I mean, I'm talking about these fans pack the stadiums, the atmosphere, man. I was at the JCM Northside game last year. JCM won the Commissioner's Cup here in Jackson.
Absolutely.
And I mean, the roar of that crowd was so electric.
Oh yeah.
It was, and what I just don't think people understand if they've never been to a game like that. I mean, there's some games that you go and that Haywood's fixing to go into, this little school and just roll them, and nobody's going to show up, and and there's not going to be much cheering in the stands.
Absolutely.
And it is what it is. But you go into a game like JCM and Northside, and that electric. I mean, there were hundreds, maybe even thousands of people around that
There were a
fence.
lot of people on that fence because I remember seeing the cell phone video of the touchdown catch.
Yeah.
And all you see are people
I mean, it
lining
was
the fence.
crazy.
So I mean, it was a big time atmosphere.
Yeah. I mean, and so when you can go to just about any stadium, Humboldt, Haywood, Northside, TCA, it doesn't matter, Bolivar, whatever, and you have that type of a game going on and you have that atmosphere, it's something that everybody needs to experience, football fan or not.
Absolutely. And it's big for those kids to experience that because the community supports everything to them. You know, they're out there, they're wanting, their friends to come out and support them. They're wanting grandma, grandpa to come out and support them. They're wanting the alumni from 1995 to come out and support them. So, I mean, it's just huge for those kids to have games in that kind of atmosphere, especially for the ones that want to go on to the next level.
Right.
Because, you go and play at, say, at Tennessee and you're in front of 101,000 people on a Saturday or an Ohio State and you're playing for a national championship with millions and millions of eyes watching you. I mean, and the West Tennessee kids over the past, say 10 years or so, a lot more have had the opportunities to go to those kind of schools. So getting atmospheres like that around here is big for their development as a player.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk about, of course, you got a running back, that's going to potentially play at the next level. You've got
Darian Taylor, who has that Vandy offer.
That's going to have an opportunity to potentially play probably either sport he wanted to, basketball or football.
He is a
maybe
great
even
athlete.
Both, and he is a great athlete. And of course, you got Javonte Smith. You got, and then you go back.
You got Westview's whole offense.
Yeah. You got one Alabama quarterback, now another Alabama quarterback potentially. So you just talk about those guys, and and then you go back to just a few years ago when you had Trey Smith, who now is two-time Super Bowl champ, just signed a buttload of money deal, and he's from over at USJ, and I mean there's the example.
You got Jalen Lewis from Brownsville a few years ago, Anthony Brown, who went to Liberty and then Milan.
Yep.
So I mean there's been a lot of kids over the past 10 years that have just, it's really made West Tennessee football kind of blow up.
Definitely.
And it's been great to see.
Yeah. And to watch those guys on a Friday night, and then be able to watch them on a Saturday afternoon, and then be able to watch them on a Sunday afternoon. I mean, what a
Trey Smith's the highest paid guard in the NFL now.
Right.
So I mean, it's awesome to see.
It's awesome. It really is. Coach, man, we wish you guys nothing but success over at Humboldt this year, and going to be very excited to watch. Are you guys live and streaming your games this year?
We do. It's on Viking News on Demand.
Okay.
On the Facebook.
All right.
So they're all live streamed on there. I think some of them, or maybe even after the season, they put them all up.
Okay.
So you can go back and watch them after.
Awesome.
But
awesome.
They will be live streamed on there, and we look forward to having some support out there this year.
Definitely. Well, we wish you, again, nothing but success over at Humboldt. And, of course, the 23rd, we'll start our 22nd's the kickoff of the season, obviously. 21st, big game going on up at Henry County as the Tomcats of Haywood will roll into
That'd be a good one.
Henry County to play the Patriots up there. That's going to be a good one to kick off that Thursday night game. And then Friday night, of course, everybody's kicking off and playing at home. But Saturday, right back here, Caddy Sports Club, starting at 9 a.m. Welcome to bring players and coaches and come back in on our coaches show.
Okay.
All you got to do is just show up before about 11:15, between 9 and 11:15, and we'll give you some time to talk about your game and your program. And want to make sure that you have that invitation each and every Saturday. And understand that things happen and whatnot. If you can't make it, we understand that. But you're welcome each and every Saturday to come and talk about your kids, your game, and highlight them on the new Fox Sports channel.
Congratulations about that.
Thank you. That Sports Talk Live will be on Fox Sports Jackson in here in West Tennessee, and so very excited about that opportunity. Good luck to the Humboldt Vikings, Coach. Thanks for coming in today and taking this time, and hope everybody stays healthy. a little bit of break from the heat. Looks
Absolutely.
like. I hope that
It's been
happens
great.
for the next 2-3 months.
That'd be
We'll see how that goes.
fantastic.
Would be. But Coach Hayden Williams from Humboldt, and you know him from his days at Northside. If you're around Jackson, and kind of a young man right here that has blossomed into a head coach here at Humboldt, and so we wish them nothing but success. So we'll say go Vikings and go Indians.
Absolutely.
They don't play each other, so
No, so it's all good.
it's all good, right? It's all
So
good.
I can support both my teams.
There you go. Coach, thanks for coming in this morning. We really appreciate you. We're going to step away here for 60 seconds. We'll come back. Tab Val will be in the house at some point, although I hear, we got this situation going on here in West Tennessee. We've got a man on the loose.
I've
saying
heard
some bad things. And it sounds like to me that the car that this young man was in was found very close to Tab Val's house. If I'm still correct, I think he lives in the same place.
I think
don't
so.
Think he moved.
I don't think he moved.
And I think that that car was found not too far from where Tab Val is. So I hope everything's okay in his neighborhood. Of course, they haven't found that young man, and I hope they do very quickly.
Absolutely.
And are able to bring justice to this family. But Tab Val in studio here around the 11 o'clock hour. So we're going to take a 60-second break. When we come back, we'll continue to run down other sports, fall sports going on. JCS getting a big victory in golf to start the season off, winning the tournament and placing first and third in their individual tournaments or individual placings there. But again, we'll be back to talk about that more here in just about 60 seconds. So go away.
Planning your financial future can be a daunting task. With all the things you want to achieve, how do you prepare so your money will go the distance? Here's some advice that may help. Why not talk to your local Woodman Life representative? They can answer all your questions, and together you can fill out a free needs analysis to help identify your short and long-term financial goals. Our representative can then recommend insurance and annuity solutions to help make your financial future safe and secure, so that all those things you want to achieve remain firmly in your sights.
Hi, I'm Kelly Bonifer, your local Woodman Life representative. Did you know that the life insurance you have through work may not be there for you if you change jobs? Call me at 731-423-4784 to discuss your options for protecting your family's financial future.
Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society of Omaha, Nebraska. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Live with the coach. That's me, Coach T. Stratton, right here, live from Caddy Sports Club, Jackson, Tennessee, 601 Van Drive. Get over here today. Book your appointment. Now, I understand, golfers. I understand. I completely understand this break in the weather that you're going to go hit the links. All right, do it. But this afternoon, when it gets warm, and you've sliced and divoted and hacked your way around the golf course, and you need to work on it, the driving range is open right over here at Caddy's indoors, nice and cool. And now my phone works. Hey, if you want to call in Sports Talk Live, we'll have Tab Val on here shortly. I see him walking up to the door here, so he'll be on in just a second. But yeah, I mean, it's been a great morning, man. We've had a great conversation. Blake Stegall, Hall's head coach and first-time guest on Sports Talk Live. Hayden Williams, head coach of the Vikings, and first time here in studio. And we're going to hopefully add the Vikings to our coaches' conversations after the games on Saturdays, right here. And of course, the man, the myth, the legend of Northside, West Tennessee, Tab Val. He's just walked through the door, and he is ready to go. He's already making fun of my shirt, and but nonetheless, man, come on in, Tab Val. Right over here, man. Hey, good seeing you. And Tab Val, head coach. I'm gonna need you a little closer to that mic, though, just a little bit. You got to scoot just up just a little bit. And Tab Val, you know him from Northside, and his time there, and then moved up to Peabody, assistant coach with Shane Jacobs, who decided he was going to go be an administrator. I don't know why I spent that time there, but it is what it is. But man, it's awesome to see that Peabody is not going to lose a step. They're going to continue to go in the right direction. Hiring Tab Val was probably the easiest hire. Just roll. You didn't have to wake up the next day and know anything different. The kids are going to just expectations are still going to be the same. Of course, you and Shane and I worked together for a couple years on the football field, and and so I understand what those expectations are and how you guys coach and things like that. So it's just going to be the next day at work for the kids at Peabody.
That's right.
Welcome in Sports Talk Live, man. Appreciate you being here.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Hey, so talk about, of course, obviously we know that the news broke, Shane Jacobs leaving Peabody, and going to USJ as I guess the upper school director, or what we're going to call the high school principal. Of course, there's speculation: is he going to coach? Is he not going to coach? All those things. But then the speculation was, well, what happens at Peabody, right? And of course, I didn't know officially, but I'm like, guys, look, if they go outside of that building for a head coach, they got to be, pardon my French, not trying to call anybody out, but they have to be the stupidest people in the world to go outside of the locker room, the coach's office, and go hire a head coach. So it has to be somebody from the inside. And of course, then the news broke, Tab Val's the next head coach of Peabody. Just again, not really skipping a beat, so to speak, is the program. But with Shane gone, things change. The roles change. Are you still rolling with the defense? You're going to be defensive coordinator, head coach. Who's going to be calling the offense out? Who's replacing? Obviously, you're replacing Shane as the head coach, but who's replacing that position? Talk to us about your staff and this.
We're blessed. I tell you, Tim, again, thanks for having me on. We're blessed. We got a great group of guys. We brought in Noah Allen. Noah's calling our offense. He's doing a great job with it right there. Coach Driggers is still doing our offensive line. Coach Mathis is working with our defensive line. And then Coach Hudson right there is with the receivers right there, and also working with some defensive linemen. And so it's a great group of guys. It really is. And so, when that job came open, I wasn't looking for a head coaching job per se, but that community down there, man, it's awesome. It's a great administration from superintendent all the way down, and it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, it really, as I said, it really shouldn't have taken very long for that decision to be made. As soon as Shane just said, "Hey, I'm out," there should have been one phone call, and if you didn't want it, and you said, "No, I don't want it," the next phone call, was to the next guy, or whatever.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. Should have been that easy. And I'm glad it is. Glad it turned out the way it is, because the community really rallied around that group of coaches. And
Yeah.
so you know what you're getting, the support you're getting, and this
Right.
and that. Talk to us about your kids. You had some graduate, some changes there. So who are the kids that are going to step into to roles that are vacated by last year's starters, last year's seniors? Of course, you got the transfer quarterback coming in from Gibson County,
Right.
And a lot of talk about that. So just talk to us about your team, and who can we expect to see filling the empty spots where the seniors vacated?
Well, we got a really good group of kids, and man, they're playing extremely hard. They're having a good time. We've got some good players on that team. We really do. Little Jonah Smith has really stepped in at quarterback. Man, he has improved a lot. He's doing a great job. From a skill position standpoint, we got Jaden Jennings playing tailback, Edward Agnew playing tailback, spelling each other, so we feel like we got some good ones there. And then at receiver, we feel like we got 4 or 5 guys out there. Of course, right now, Jamarcus Haynes he's an exceptional football player. And that kind of deal. We kind of rebuilt our offensive line, but those guys are doing a great job. Coach Driggers is doing a great job with them. Chandler Milan right there is coming back as a 3-year starter. Chandler's had a really good summer. Also, not only as a football player, but also in a leadership role. He's done extremely well there. And so, like I said, we're excited about the group we have.
Yeah, talk to us about the defensive side of the ball. You spent your time working with the defense last year, and a little bit of a wonky turnaround about last year. Of course, a very tough region that Peabody's in. Probably, of course, Hayden Williams, somebody who you're very familiar with.
Yeah.
Great kid,
awesome,
now great young man.
That's awesome.
And to see him come back to West Tennessee after playing here at Northside,
yeah,
and all of that, now to be able to coach here at Humboldt and to lead that program and help rebuild that program, I think they're going to improve. You guys
Definitely.
see them week 2, right?
Week 2.
So, talk to us about the defensive side of the ball. Not necessarily a place where y'all struggled immensely last year, but that ball's oblong. It bounces a bunch of weird ways, and
that's right.
And the season ended in a non-playoff position for you guys, but could have easily went a different direction.
Right. And the biggest thing, we get, we've got to learn how to win in those big ball games like that. And the kids are doing a great job. Defensively, coming out of that scrimmage last night, we got to improve on our tackling. I thought our effort was really good. And like I said, that group of kids, man, they're doing a great job. They're buying in. Playing hard, trying to fly it around to the ball, and so we're excited. So we know where we have some deficiencies, but I think everybody does, and it's our job right there to try to go out and get those kids better each and every day.
You guys got a big win last year over a team that we hadn't seen in West Tennessee really compete in a few years because the school closed down, and that was Jackson Central Mary.
Right.
Camden, Adamsville, Decatur County, Riverside all vacate the region, and Union City and Halls come in, and so how does that? How do you feel you guys match up with that change in the region schedule? Of course, you could say, hey, any given year, I'm happy that Decatur County Riverside's out.
Right.
They're a powerhouse, right? But then you just reload, really.
That's right.
And I think in the grand scheme of things, I think this region got tougher adding Union City and Halls.
Yeah, I mean, West Tennessee small ball is, in my opinion, is the best in the state, and of course, the district we're in right there is it's good from top to bottom, and so.
I mean, it's the Big Ten of college football, right?
That's it. You still got some time to gloat about last year, but no. And speaking with JCM, Coach Turner, man, he's almost like he's almost like a relative to me. You know, what's crazy, you know, I've been in this game so long now, all these guys are trickling with Coach Turner and Hayden and that kind of deal. But I remember Coach Turner walking into Oman Arena as a freshman at JCM. And, of course, he was with us at Northside right there. He does an extremely good job. Man. He's first-class person. He runs a first-class program. Yeah. And so you get those guys like that, you want to always see them be successful, you know, and he's done a heck of a job at JCM. And speaking of Hayden, I had a chance to talk to him on the way in, and I mean, what a great young man he is now, and you know, doing good things at Humboldt. And you know, as an older guy, the guys that you've coached, you're glad to see them do well.
Yeah. Yeah, I said that about. I had a conversation with Hall's head coach Blake Stegall, who I hired to help hire at Westview when he was coming into teaching, and of course he played at Westview. It was great for him to come back and get to now coach at Westview, and now to watch him go to Ripley and now to become a head coach at Hall's. You know, it's just it's that kind of surreal moments for us as older coaches and older guys to watch these guys grow up.
And I tell you, Tim, that's kind of the special part of coaching. It really is. Yeah. It's about the relationships that you build, not only with your team and your players, but what you build with, you know, the coaches. And so, you know, we're blessed. We scrimmaged with Crockett County last night, and man, Coach Ward is first class. Crockett County's first class. We set the scrimmage up so both of us can kind of have a chance to get better. They're a great scrimmage partner right there, and you know, that's the whole thing about it, is the relationships and the camaraderie you meet, you know, in this profession.
Yeah, definitely. And you talk about, I think one of the things, I've coached in like 3 states, right? Mm-hmm. So I've had an opportunity to see some different styles of coaching and different styles of but here in West Tennessee, what I have really appreciated about in my almost 20 years here now is that all of our coaches put our kids first 100%.
That's right.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. And I'll say that, you know, the programs I was in Florida, in the state of Florida, our coaches were putting our kids first 100% of the time. But I also watched some programs that was about the wins.
Right.
Right? And in the grand scheme of things, you want to win.
Exactly.
You want to win as a coach. You
That's
want
right.
your kids to experience winning.
You got to.
But sometimes we know that also some of the best lessons in life are through the defeat.
That's right.
How you bounce back from those things.
That's right.
And so, I mean, I can't – there is not a coach in West Tennessee that I know personally that I would not say, if my kid was 15 years old right now, I wouldn't want them to go play for it.
Yeah.
There's not a coach.
That's right.
They're all that upstanding as men, as leaders, as coaches, and it doesn't matter about wins and losses, because some team, you know, Hayden and I talked about this a little bit, some team's just going to be better than you.
That's right.
On a particular night.
That's right.
You know, you're going to go out, that team's just going to score more points than you, and their run game was better, their blocking scheme was better, and you just got beat. And it is the way it is. But, again, the coaching staffs of these programs are top-notch men, and I really appreciate what you guys do as a camaraderie of coaches. You know, I'm kind of out of that scene now, but even last year, to be able to just walk into Peabody's locker room and sit down and have conversations that you and I used to have, or Shane Jacobs or Mathis, or you know, even Driggers or whatever, as a coach across the field, so to speak. You know, it's that relationship that you have with these guys that build, man. It's just an awesome feeling, and a lot of a feeling that people just don't really realize until they've been in it.
Yeah, that's right. And like I said, you know, a lot of those wins right there, man, they're nice to have, but the relationships you make along the way, you know, and when you know you spend a lot of time in this game, everything comes full circle. You know, you're gonna have highs and you're gonna have lows. It's gonna happen. Yeah. You know, that's gonna happen with it, and so the whole deal of it is the relationships that you make, and not only with your players and your former players, but also with the coaches also too.
Yeah. Talk to us about the schedule. You know, we talked about the region change, and we'll get some region games in a second, but the non-region opponents this year for Peabody, Ripley, Humboldt, Douglas, Raleigh, Egypt. You guys are having to go to get some games down into the Memphis area, partially due to the success. You know, when you're winning state championships and you're playing for state championships and you're playing in the playoffs as much as Peabody has over the last 6 or 7 years, nobody wants to play you. So you got to go find these games. Talk to us about this non-district schedule.
Well, the biggest thing, with that right there, and I tell our kids, I mean, we don't look backwards, those teams right there, that was their time. This year, this is this group's time. And so we really don't, dwell on, the past. We don't compare teams. Our goal is just to get this group better every single day. And the thing about it is these kids are bought in, they're working hard, and all of our focus is on them. And so, of course, you're still in, preseason mode and that kind of deal. And so, we're just kind of worried about, hadn't thought too much down the schedule. We're just worried about ourselves right now and that kind of thing, and trying to get these kids better, invest in everything we have in this group,
Yeah, this group kicking off with Ripley, that's pretty stout first game. If you were in the SEC, you'd start off with the middle school for the blind somewhere in North Dakota or something, because you're an SEC team. And of course, the Big Ten teams, they play tough schedules. But no, it seems like all of football has gone the opposite direction. Everybody wants to play the week schedule, except for high schools.
Yeah.
I look at these non-district games, and I went, why?
You're
why
right.
are you scheduling that? In my head, why are you scheduling that game?
Right.
Because this region schedule probably is the most difficult region schedule maybe in the entire state. When you look at JCM's back,
Yeah.
you look at, of course, now with Union City, Halls, but Huntington, Milan, Decatur County, Riverside. I mean, this is the cream of the crop schedule in all of West Tennessee. Somebody will get left out of the playoffs. You guys experienced that last
Right.
year. You guys could have easily, as you have in the past, pushed through the season, got into the playoffs and made that run and win a state championship, but all of a sudden you guys are on the outside looking in
Right.
because of that region schedule.
That's right.
Holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys go and schedule a non-region schedule against teams like Humboldt and Ripley, and then having to go play in Memphis. How do you get your kids to flip that switch to it's not about us anymore, but hey, last night we put on the pads. We went and scrimmaged another team, right? We're not beating each other up every day. We went and scrimmaged.
Right.
So now we got to start thinking about who's in front of us.
Yeah, it is. So, with our group of kids, we still try to stay day to day, week to week. And so, we don't get too far out over our skis because, we know we've got a lot of work to do. We just got through watching the film from last night's game, and, kids played hard, but there's a lot of mistakes that we got to cut down. And they realize that too, and they know that. And so, we really don't talk about our schedule much. Everything is our, focused on us. And so that's the whole deal. But, you get down, you start looking at that schedule right there. And our region is tough. You look at it, of course, Milan played for a state championship last year. They're back in. Huntington's always a powerhouse. Union City's won all those state championships, and they got a great program. And so, but that's the thing. That's what makes Friday nights fun. And there's no doubt about it. And you hope your team's right there. They rise up to that occasion also.
Yeah, I was talking with Hayden about this. When I look back at our days, even at Northside together, we had some struggles.
Yeah.
And we didn't win the ball games. All the ball games we wanted to win and this and that. But you look across, and JCM was pretty good.
Right.
And Liberty was pretty good.
That's right.
Southside was fairly
That's right.
decent.
That's exactly right.
And then you were playing teams like Hardin County and Haywood and
right.
Crockett counties, and football was pretty good.
It is.
At the time, right?
That's right.
And of course, some of those teams have fallen off, and now they're coming back.
Yeah.
You see, like, Southside starting to have some success again.
That's right.
Liberty's tried to rebuild that program over there. JCM seems to be back. And
Right.
I mean, when West Tennessee football is competitive, again, somebody's going to lose the game.
That's right.
But when it's competitive, and you're not just going out and watching somebody get their brains beat out 63-0 every night.
That's right.
I mean, this is some of the best football to watch in all of the country.
Yeah, it is, you know, and like I said, that's what makes it fun for the kids and the fans. You know, the rivalries. You know, that's high school football in a nutshell. You know, and so you know, with programs, you know, like I said, you stay in it long enough, there's going to be highs and lows. If you stay in long enough, you're going to experience both. And so that's just part of the game, you know, that's going to happen. And so, you know, like I said, you know, with our group down there, man, we're super excited about them. You know, love this group of kids and what they're doing. And, you know, like for us right now, you know, our biggest thing is just trying to get us better. And like I said, we know what the schedule is down the road. But, you know, you can't start thinking that way, you know. So we don't try to get too far out over our skis. Like I said, you know, every day we try to come in and get better at some avenue of the football team.
How important for you is it this year to start at home, kind of in a new role? You got week 1 game, August 22nd, kicks off the season there against Ripley, but you guys don't have to travel. Does that?
I think so. I think that does help, you know. It really does. You know, it's always good to open up at home, you know. Like I said, we've got a great community down there in Trenton. And it's always, you know, you walk in that stadium, there's always a good crowd there. There's always a lot of excitement right there when football season's getting ready to kick off. And so it's good, you know. It's definitely, I'm glad put it this way, I'm glad we're opening it up at home instead of on the road, you know.
Coach, when you come into Trenton there from the Humboldt region, you have to kind of come up a hill into Trenton.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the coolest things to see on a Friday night if you're coming through there about 6:30, 7 o'clock, right before kickoff. It's just starting to get a little dark, but the lights are on.
Oh, no.
And it kind of gives you that aura of Friday night lights.
That's right.
Of course, the new stadium and the beautiful field you guys got. It kind of puts you in a mood.
It is.
And there's really, I talked about this every week. It's one of the things that, you know, this cliche that's used a lot in December of the most wonderful time of the year. The most wonderful time of the year, if you're a football fan, is right now.
It is.
I mean,
No.
Middle school football's
right.
kicking off. High school football kicks off in 2 weeks. College football kicks off the week after.
Yeah.
The NFL will kick off a couple weeks after that. And as crazy an NFL is, and as some say it's soft of a league it is now, if you're a sports fan, the fall sports scene in high school and in college and the pros is one of the best times of the year. August has to be the month that everybody gets the most excited for.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, you know. And like I said, you know, last night in our scrimmage, you know, it was under the lights and kind of gave you a little bit of the Friday night feel and that kind of thing. But like I said, you know, what's special down there about that place, you know, number one is the community, the people in that community and how much pride they invest in that school. And then, like I said, our administration from Coach Haney all the way down, you know, to our high school administration, what they have done with those facilities down there is phenomenal. And so, I mean, we're blessed, you know, we really and truly are to have what we have there. And like I said, and not only that, it's just with the community there. You know, everything in that community kind of revolves around that high school, no matter if it's baseball, basketball, football. And it's just nice to be in a community like that.
Right. And it's easy for a community like that, not trying to say anything negative about Trenton, but it's a very small community.
Very small.
Because you bounce out into the county really quickly, and everything else is about Gibson County.
That's
or
right.
Humboldt, or, you know, whatever. So that very small community to be able to have what they have shows the testament of how much belief
100%
the community has in the school system. Right?
Oh, there's no doubt about that, Tim, and that's what makes it special, because everybody in that town has they have a piece of the pie,
right.
And so that's what makes it special, you know. And like I said, it's a great community, a lot of support, that kind of thing. And like I said, our administration, from our high school administration all the way up right here, and to our superintendent all the way down to that central office right there, it's all black and gold.
Yeah, definitely. So when we kick off the season here against Ripley, you know, a very good opponent that you're going to find something out about your team.
Yes.
Very quick. Are there any seniors up and coming that need to be on the watch list if somebody's catching a Peabody game, maybe going to see them on one of the streams or something like that?
It is,
who
you
can
know.
we watch out for?
Well, you know, you're always looking for, you know, the skilled guys always get all the publicity, you know, and so we're blessed. We do have some really good skilled guys that, you know, in that senior class, like I said, our quarterback, Jonah Smith, has done a really good job. I'm super proud of Jonah and all the strides that he made. Jaden Jennings right there is going to be a 3-year starter for us right here. He's a really good player. Jamarcus Haynes right there is a really good player for us. Mikael Wilkes is a really good player for us. Chandler Milan right there is kind of taking on a big leadership role, not only in the offensive line, but the defensive line right there. And so I'm just super proud of all those seniors. And, we got some seniors that are first-time starters, and they've come a long way. And, you're just proud of that whole group right there.
Yeah, and it's easy for you coming from the assistant role back now as the head coach. You've been there.
I've been there. That's right.
It's not like these kids are unfamiliar. You're not trying to learn the kids, their tendencies, their deficits, or anything to that extent. You've had the off season was just the off season as it was normal. You're just now the head coach, and so are we going to see anything? Can we expect anything different out of the Tide than we've seen in the last few years?
Well, we're kind of going back into more some two-back offense, that kind of deal, and trying to work it from that standpoint. And like I said, I mean, that school's had a great success. And we tell our kids, and we don't compare our kids to somebody else's. We tell them this is their time. That stuff in the past is in the past. And so that was those kids. That was their time. This right now, this year, this is this group of seniors in this junior sophomore class. This is their time. And so that's kind of the whole deal. And we just kind of focus on just getting these kids to play extremely hard, have fun. All right, and then get what we can, execute, don't die from 1,000 paper cuts and that kind of thing. And so, but it's been a lot of fun with this group. It really has.
Yeah. I know you. I know what you do to prepare. I've lived those days with you.
Yeah.
So I know that, as far as this, it's really just about now the head coaching responsibilities, right? So, I mean, for you, really preparing for as a defensive coordinator or head coach, really not much difference.
Right.
And I know that on a Friday night, fans can expect the same thing. So there's some titles that bounce around, and if I have brought out to the community what coach is on the sideline rocking back and forth on a Friday night, everybody's going to know who I'm talking about for sure. That may be a trivia night question for us one night. But one of the things about the change from the defense coordinator to the head coach, it obviously the buck stops with you, right?
That's right.
You got to make some decisions now,
that's right.
That you didn't have to make. That was really, it was Shane Jacobs' job to make those decisions.
That's right.
Last year. You got to make. How do you enter into that season knowing that, hey, I've got to make those decisions? What goes through your mind as a head coach that, hey, when it comes down to the nitty-gritty of the game, of course, again, I know you and I know Shane. Shane was on the headset going, okay, guys, what's our best option here?
Yeah.
And again, he's going to make that final decision based upon everybody's input. You have to do that. How do you take that as a head coach? What's your approach to that?
Well, the whole thing about it is I'm very fortunate because I got a good group of guys around me.
Yeah,
and
I got
so
27 head coaches on that staff. Like that.
Exactly. And so, we've got a lot of experience on that staff. And so that starts with that. And the good thing about our group, everything, we're going to come in and we work together. I mean, we bounce ideas off each other. I come in and say, all right, guys, what do you think? What covers are we going to play to this set? And that kind of deal. And everybody has an input on what goes on. To me, that's what makes a good staff.
Right.
And so the whole thing about it is those guys are there, for a reason, for a purpose. And so, like I said, we're blessed from that standpoint. So everything we do, I mean, we all put our minds together. We all come up with, what we want to do together and that kind of thing. And the good thing about this staff, there's no egos. We get along, super well with each other and that kind of deal. And everybody and on our staff, all they want is success for the kids.
Yeah.
And so that's the whole deal. Now, is there going to be some, bad decisions made on Friday? Yeah, we're all human. It's going to happen.
Right.
Am I going to screw some things up? Yeah, it's going to happen. But that's just, the whole deal of it is you put everything into it, you work as hard as you can, And if it don't work out, that decision don't work out, it don't work out. You got to move on we tell our kids all the time, man, move on to the next play. Next play. Move on to the next play, and it's going to happen. It's a game, it's played by humans. We're going to make mistakes.
Yeah, you didn't make that block last play.
That's it. It's over.
It's over with.
We can't replay it. So you move on. And that's the thing, as a coach, you make a bad decision, you got to move on. You can't let a decision you made in the second quarter affect you in the fourth quarter. Yeah. And so that's kind of the whole deal with it.
Yeah, 100%. Coach, we appreciate you coming in this morning and talking about Peabody. We wish you guys much success. Probably, again, I talk about this all the time, talking about it with Eric Turner. This region, every Friday night is a playoff game.
It
is. Really is. I mean, because if you let your guard down at any moment in time, you're out of the playoffs.
It is, and the good thing about that, Tim, is it is tough, and it's a great region. You look at it, man. This small ball in West Tennessee. It seems like every year they're playing for a state championship. Somebody is, and it's great. But that's fun for the fans. It's fun for your kids, and so it's a good environment like that when you have these rivalries and that kind of thing. And of course, that's why you kind of play high school sports, to be involved in that.
Yeah. Looking at who you lost in the region, the Adamsvilles, the Decatur County Riversides, Camdens, those teams can compete in their region on the other side for playoff positions, which means that's probably going to become now a potential opponent in the playoffs.
That's right.
How do you look at that, knowing, hey, we've got experience against those guys, especially this coming year when you might potentially see them early on, in this situation, but it will be 100% a playoff game.
That's right. And the thing about it is, it does help because you have some experience by playing those guys. But in high school ball, it changes so much because there's so much different dynamic of the kids. In the NFL, Pat Mahomes is going to be there playing at Kansas City. You know that, right? And so in high school ball, this kid right here, he might have last year's graduating. So some of their schemes might always change and that kind of thing to fit their personnel. But yeah, that definitely, with those guys going over there, that region is going to get a lot better.
Yeah, Coach. So starting the 23rd, Sports Talk Live, we have coaches, what we call our Coaches Corner, our Coaches Connection Show. So we would definitely want Peabody to be a part of that each and every Saturday night at 11:15. Come on in, bring your kids in. Let's put them out there and talk to them.
Well, Tim, I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to give us some publicity right here about our program, and it's something like we're really proud of. And like I said, it's that program down there is definitely a community program, and we're fortunate to be down there. We really are.
Yeah. If somebody wants to support Peabody in any way, maybe they watched you guys over the last few years and they've seen the state championships and would just like to provide a meal for the team or something, how can they get a hold of the school?
Just call the school right there and talk to our quarterback club president and that kind of thing. And that thing about that community right there, what's super special about it is, man, everybody wants to help that program out, because the thing about it is all their kids have gone there, their grandkids, that kind of deal. And so there's a great tradition of people in that town right there. And so and to me, that school system is the apple of that town right there, and everybody right there is super willing to help any way they can.
Yeah, it's definitely not the 31-mile-an-hour speed limit. I'll tell you that.
That is pretty cool, though, huh?
It is. The first time I ever drove through there, going to Gibson County, I was like, what is this 31? A 1 on any speed limit sign. It's like a 0 or a 5. There's no other number. It's like, what the heck? So, it's but that just shows the uniqueness, right?
That's
Trenton,
right.
Right. Just to have, it's all school all the way down to the speed limit sign.
Oh, it is. It's
really cool. And if you've never been, what is it, Elvo Arte up there?
Yeah, that's
Mexican
it.
Spot.
Pretty good one.
So you go up and watch a game. That's a great spot to go hit and eat and whatnot. But Trenton, definitely a unique place here in West Tennessee. The Teapot Festival, capital of the world.
That's it.
But hopefully we'll see you back starting on the 23rd. Maybe come back in, bring some kids, talk about your program, anywhere between 9 and 11:30, and right here on Sports Talk Live. We're going to Fox Sports, so we're branching up. Hub City Sports Network is no longer just a little Facebook community. But we're headed up to Fox Sports, and so we'll have Roku TV, Apple TV.
There you go.
I mean, so we're excited about where Sports Talk Live is going. Talk to us real quick, because I know where you live. I'm not going to give out your address. I'm assuming you're
Appreciate
still living
that.
there. But we've got this crazy thing going on in our community that happened up in Lake County that's now spread
Right.
into Jackson. The car of this young man that's committed these heinous acts was found very close to your house.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's not living in your barn or something like that,
Well,
hiding out. But how crazy was that?
Well, it's this. I didn't know anything about it until I got home from the scrimmage last night. I had no clue.
Okay.
And my little girl was telling me about it, and so and that kind of thing. But I had no clue, and turned on the news, the national news today, and the story was on there and that kind of thing. And so, it's a very unfortunate thing that happened, and your heart goes out to the family and that kind of thing. And so, hopefully I heard him get this situation solved.
Yeah. But to be, close to home there, to know that guy was in your community, that's makes you think about locking the doors and turning the lights on a little more often, or doing something a little different. My wife's like, "Do you think we need to get some more security cameras? We got the Ring doorbell or something. It's like, we need some over here. Do we need some over there?" I'm like, "Well, that was over by Tab's house. That was by our house." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said it was. I said
That's what my little girl told me. I had no clue what was going on.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
You get football focused. It's hard to
Oh,
get you
I know
else.
it. But she was all excited last night when I came in to tell me that story.
Yeah, I'm sure some police cars up and down the road and things like that. But a little excitement in the
That's it.
Val community.
That's
over
right.
there.
That's
So,
right.
Tracy gets a new school this
That's right.
year.
Yeah.
Wow, what a beauty that is out there.
Yeah, it is. They got open house right now. They're having their open house day today, and she's excited about it. Of course, our house is busy. It's a lot of pizza right now that's been eaten, and not too many meals being cooked because of when we come in. And so, but it's good though. Both of us are really enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a lot of success there, and great people to have it. It's you guys have worked hard in your careers to be where you're at. The dedication, but not only that, the dedication and care that you guys have for the kids in our communities.
Yeah.
Again, if my kid was 15 again, and Peabody was anywhere on the way, anywhere I was going, I'd drop him off every day.
Tim, I appreciate that, man. And like I
so-
said, it's a kid's game, and it's their time. You and I, we were their age at one time, and we had our time, and so everything it's about their time.
That's it. Well, we appreciate you coming in today, and glad that you guys are safe in your living community.
There you go.
And because again, my wife's like, "Hey, did you see this? Where was that?" And I was like, Tab Val lives. that was the first thing out of my mind. I said, Tab Val lives probably within 300 yards of there.
Yeah,
So,
it's that far.
it's not far at all. Because she's like, "Was that close to us?" I'm like, "No, that's close to town." I'm like, "Yeah, seriously." So we're glad you guys are safe, but we appreciate what you guys do for our kids in our community. Jackson Madison County Schools and Trenton, the Gibson County community, have two of the best. So definitely appreciate you guys.
It, buddy. Thank you so much.
Guys, much success. Gonna be looking forward to that week 2 game against Humboldt.
I know.
You get to coach against one of your former students. And,
former players. Oh, Hayden was a great one,
Yeah.
man. He was a great kid. He still is. He's first class. And like I said, you go back and look. I coached against Coach Turner last year. And so, like I said, I always remember Coach Turner, man. That ninth grade year, walking in Homan Arena as a freshman. And so, but he's almost like a family member to me now. Like a little brother.
And you look at him and you think about, he was probably a running back or a outside linebacker, but now
he played O-line.
O-line.
He played O-line, D-line,
guard,
Coach Turner was a get-after-it guy,
Yeah.
man. He really was. And like I said, Hayden he was a good player, great teammate, and it was a good time. We were talking about some of those old Northside days a while ago when he was out standing out front right there. And it's just good to see those guys off in their lives doing really well.
Yeah, that's it. Tab Val, head coach of Peabody Golden Tide, man. Head coach right there in the title again. And wish nothing but success for Peabody. And we'll see them again. Probably the toughest schedule in the region and all of the state when you look at Gibson County, JCM, Union City, and Halls now. Huntington and Milan, that region didn't get any easier in the grand scheme of things, and so much success there. Peabody on a Friday night, catch their games, and I think they play on the Sports 731 network. So
yes,
catch them there. And other than that, we'll hopefully have them here on a Saturday from time to time to talk about their program back here on the Coaches Connection Show on Saturday mornings. So I know you don't live very far, so just getting those kids to come in just a little bit out of the community, but it is what it is. Coach, we appreciate you. Good luck with the season. Hey, we're going to step away for a 60-second break. When we come back, we're going to close out just a few minutes early today. We've got a couple things going on we need to get to before 1 o'clock, and so we're going to have to tear down about 15 minutes early. So I'm going to come back, wrap things up, and we will talk about the opening victory. School hadn't even started, but athletics has.
Right.
JCS already a winner. And school hadn't even started. Already a winner. We'll talk about that when we come back. Don't go away. Listen to Coach T, Sports Talk Live, right here, Caddy Sports Club. If you haven't been here, Coach, I know you hit some golf clubs from time to time. You got to get over here to Caddy's, and it's cool. It's going to get muggy and hot today. You might as well just book your tea time right here. Get your cold drinks and your hot pizza right here, and hit the links right here at Caddy Sports Club, 601 Van Drive. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Planning your financial future can be a daunting task. With all the things you want to achieve, how do you prepare so your money will go the distance? Here's some advice that may help. Why not talk to your local Woodman Life representative? They can answer all your questions, and together you can fill out a free needs analysis to help identify your short and long-term financial goals. Our representative can then recommend insurance and annuity solutions to help make your financial future safe and secure, so that all those things you want to achieve remain firmly in your sights.
Hi, I'm Kelly Bonifer, your local Woodman Life representative. Did you know that the life insurance you have through work may not be there for you if you change jobs? Call me at 731-423-4784 to discuss your options for protecting your family's financial future.
Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society of Omaha, Nebraska. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
Get ready, basketball fans, and welcome to The Bounce, your go-to destination for all things hoops. Join us every Thursday night from 6 to 7 p.m. starting February 13th, as Andrew Hicks will bring you the wildest highlights, in-depth discussions on trades, injury updates, and those unforgettable buzzer beaters. Whether you're a hardcore enthusiast or just looking for some epic plays, we've got something for everyone. So grab your favorite snacks and tune in for the action-packed episodes each and every Thursday night on the Hub City Sports Network. Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends, and we'll see you in the next stream.
As the road you travel changes, so can your insurance needs. Talking with Farmers Insurance agent Jeremy Chandler can help you assess whether you're ready for the journey ahead. There's a reason the Jeremy Chandler Agency was voted Best Insurance Agency in VIP Magazine's Best in Jackson 2024. Give Jeremy a call today at 731-FARMERS and find out why. That's Jeremy Chandler at 731-327-6377 or contact him at 731farmers.com.
Welcome back. Sports Talk Live with the coach. That's me, Coach T. Stratton, live right here, Caddy Sports Club. If you haven't been to Caddy's yet, you're missing out. I see somebody over there eating a pizza right now. Their hot honey pizza is probably one of the best, maybe in all of the state. So make sure that you get over here today. Their wings are really good. And I'm telling you what, you can't go wrong with Caddy Sports Club right here. And then, you could play some sports, right? Play golf. You could play football. You could play a lot of things over here on the simulators. Make sure that you get over here to Caddy's today. I am looking for my notes. For some reason, I have deleted something, and there we go. Hey, as I was saying there, when Coach Tab Val got off of the airways, or was getting ready to get off the airways, JCS, Jackson Christian School, the Eagles, and they They start out the year playing in golf. Now, golf, we're here at Caddies, so it's an appropriate conversation, right? Golf kicked off this year before school even started. We're not even back in the building yet as a school system, other than the teachers, right? And the golf team's out competing. The Eagles win the River Bend High School Invitational, and that was played at River Bend Country Club. And the team shot a 295, and I could get Daniel Fry over here. A 295 in a high school tournament. He's familiar with golf scores. It's pretty good because when you look at the scores of the team, the state champion, two-time back-to-back Jack Veazey on the golf team, he shoots an 84. Now, I'm not that good. Seth Joyner shoots an 81. Brody Smith ties for fourth place with a 74. Nolan Smith came in third with a 71. And Carson Adrioni shot a 69 for JCS. Team score 295 overall, and JCS wins the River Bend Invitational. So how about starting school off with a tournament win, and school hadn't even started yet? Yes, sir. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's what JCS is doing over there on the golf course. And so if you are a fan of JCS, then you can make that happen. Hey guys, huge announcement. If you have not heard to this point, Hub City Sports Network is not necessarily going away. It's just being absorbed, and so it's kind of gonna be dormant a little bit, but very soon, maybe even early as next week, announcements will be made via social media. Sports Talk Live and the coach will be moving to the new Fox Sports West Tennessee affiliate right here in West Tennessee. So Fox Sports Radio, Fox Sports FSR Jackson, Fox Sports Radio Jackson at West Tennessee, foxsportsradio.com, the website. You can go there and catch the show. The only show that will be live on the weekends locally will be my show on that channel. We will have Fox Sports programming on the website, on the social medias as well. And so Sports Talk Live is going there. Sports Talk Live will be on Fox Sports moving forward. Now, I don't know exactly what all that entails because things are still being developed and the roles are moving over. I will become sports director for Fox Sports West Tennessee, that affiliate there, and that will be, the local name will be Talking Sports West Tennessee and Fox Sports. So very excited about that. But my show, Sports Talk Live, will be on that network affiliate, probably simulcast to Hub City Sports Network for a little bit of time, and then we'll eventually probably go full-time to the Fox Sports networks. So, but please watch and check our social medias out so that you can follow us and not miss a moment of action. We are just around the corner. We're just around the corner from our coaches show kicking off on Saturday mornings. So we will have guests in and out all Saturday, 9 to noon, right here on Sports Talk Live on whatever we're going to be on, which will be the Fox Sports Radio, 103.5 FM, and 1310 AM, along with all of those. But I hear that we're also going to potentially, and I want to say for sure because I don't want to jinx it or to say something that would get us in trouble. But I also hear that potentially will be on Apple TV, Amazon TV, and Roku TV. So very excited about the opportunity to expand Sports Talk Live into those markets and bring our community to those platforms. And so we hope that you will tune in each and every week for Sports Talk Live with the coach. That's me, Coach T. Stratton, right here at Caddy Sports Club, 601 Van Drive. Get over here and book your reservations for golf today. The little bit of cool weather this morning, everybody got out on the golf course. But I tell you what, when this heat comes back, and it'll be back probably now, it's going to get hot and muggy again. You got to get over here and not break a sweat. You come over here and hit golf balls all day long. Oh, yeah, and you don't lose them. I mean, that's the best part about hitting over here. I don't have to go buy new golf balls tomorrow because I lost a sleeve today. I mean, or a dozen today. So it is what it is. But, guys, we appreciate you tuning in each and every week. We're excited about how we can continue to promote and grow our sports and our schools right here in West Tennessee. And the opportunity to go to Fox Sports is going to be really awesome. We will talk about some college sports as well, as we are the Vol Network right here in West Tennessee, the Cardinals Network right here in West Tennessee, and we'll be able to talk about more of those sports as well, getting information, maybe some interviews with those guys as well, and then continuing to grow that. We will branch out into other professional sports, maybe some Titan football. I think we're going to carry a lot of Dallas Cowboy football. So if you're a Cowboys fan, then you'll be able to watch and listen to some of those on the radio if you're traveling and can't watch the game, on TV. And so we have an appointment today that we have to get to, so we're going to cut off just a little bit short here today. Appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. Again, catch us here very shortly on Fox Sports Network, as we will be transferring over to that. Could be next Saturday. It could be the following Saturday. We're waiting on the green light from Fox Sports to make that happen. And so please watch our social medias, watch their social medias, Talkin' Sports West Tennessee on Facebook, YouTube, all those things. Not YouTube, but Twitter, Instagram, and you can catch the stories there. And then also on their website, and they're already populated with articles, things that I have created for them, as well as others. And so go there and catch news about your favorite sports team here in the Jackson community and beyond. So from all of us here at the Hub City Sports Network, this could be our last official week. And I thank you for sticking with us. But we're not going away. We're just getting bigger. And so Sports Talk Live with the coach is growing. And we're excited about that. Again, it could be simulcast here on the Hub City Sports Network for a few weeks. So don't run away too quickly, because we could still be here. And if we're not, we'll be on the Talkin' Sports Facebook page, as well as FSRJackson.com's website, and maybe even Roku, Amazon, or Apple TV. So we're gonna sign off for the day and get out of here. We've got some things going on that we're going to be a part of, and very excited about that. Football kicked off. Congratulations to JCS and their victory in golf, already starting the season out. But guys, have a great weekend, and we will catch you next Saturday right here for more Sports Talk Live with the coach. That's me, and you never know who will be on the stream with us. But we'll catch you next Saturday right here on the Hub City Sports Network or Fox Sports Jackson. Don't go away. We'll see you next week.